All righty. So, again, welcome everybody. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Kathy Carter, out of Nashville. Been here at EXP for 5 years, and just part of helping lead the Freedom Team, and just excited to be a part of that. Just part of EXP, and also, and we've got, like I said a second ago, we got Amber joining us. And Amber, where did you go? You popped off of my screen here.
I'm here.
You're there. There you go. All righty. I'm gonna let you, Amber. You've got. Are you a two-time, three-time icon?
We're two, working on three.
All right. So she's a rock star. Her and her husband Paul, they work together, and they've got a big family of young kids, all adopted. So how many children do you have? You guys have?
We have 6 under 8.
6 under 8. So
Yeah.
if she can have 6 kids under 8 and icon twice on the way to third, I don't think most of us have excuses. So anyway, so anything else you want to share about yourself? I'm just going to turn it over to you and just let you jump in. So again, everybody, just turn your cameras on, make sure you're muted, and take it away, girl.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kathy. Kathy's been a good friend since day one, and so is Sean. So it's nice to see the both of you on here. I want this to be very interactive. So I have a list of ideas, but the way that I get my ideas is I go to things like this, and I hear from all of you all as well. And matter of fact, we were just on a training call, and one of the ideas that I have on my list got thrown out there, and we were able to kind of just like round robin, add some value to what someone else was already planning on doing, because it was an idea that was already out there. So that's kind of how this is. I believe there's pretty much nothing new under the sun. It's a biblical principle. It's a true principle. Like there's, you just keep adding to it and adding value to people. So if you have something that you want to add in, just feel free to raise your hand or turn your mic on. I don't want to like mastermind this by myself. This is for all of us to do together. And, add your own vibe to it. I think your vibe attracts your tribe. We've heard that in so many different places, but I think that's true in the business realm. People are going to work with you because they like you, they trust you, they want to work with you because, hey, let's be honest, they've got tons of options out there. Just throw a stone and you're going to hit a realtor, right? So I think just being real and letting people know who you are as a person, as a business owner, as a family, whatever walk of life that you're in right now is just really critical and invaluable. I'm going to just rattle off, I think I have 25 fourth quarter ideas. All right. I do not expect anybody to do 25 hosted events. That would be absolutely insane. If you do it, you let me know, but there's no way on God's green earth I would do that. But I do have a goal of doing about 8, which is still a lot. I really think about how you can combine certain things with other things that you're already involved with other organizations you're already part of. We're very active in our church. So I think of ways to take some of these ideas that I would host anyway and partner it with something else that either my church is holding and hosting or some way to give back in the community that I'm involved with. Do you hear somebody's mic on? I'm not sure that way. Okay, I'll let you control that. I just don't want somebody to say, hey, she's stupid, and that would be embarrassing for me. So
let me say, since you're going to roll out 25 of them, this is being recorded and it's going to be in the Freedom Team on Workplace. So you can go back and re-listen. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I missed something. You can go back and re-listen. And actually, we're going to have time stamped on there on the recording, all the different items. So
awesome. And the reason for saying all of them out there out front is then whatever sticks out to you, like, hey, I would like more ideas and thoughts about this, then we could like delve into some of them, right? Instead of getting stuck on one that you're like, I would never do that and I don't want to waste your time here. So I'm just going to read them off really quickly. And then if you hear something that you're like, oh, I want more details around that, or I've done that and it was successful, or I would like to do it better, then we can all mastermind that together and this becomes a group training and it's just more valuable that way. So here we go. A movie night. You can do that at a theater and pre-sale tickets for that kind of thing. There's a lot of agents who have done things like that that work out. A theater night where you do it at your own home. So we've done that where we put up a big screen outside and invite everybody, and it's a lot of fun. So either indoor or outdoor. Soup and s'mores, small dinner parties, a pie party, that's a wrap, which is like bringing all your wrapping paper to one place and letting people wrap presents together. And it's very holly jolly, exciting. Or as we added to that today in the group that I was in, my suggestion was to have somebody there to help with wrapping. So maybe encourage some older high school students or people who just love wrapping to come wrap other people's gifts. Because if you're anything like me, I hate wrapping, but I've got 6 kids, and so I'm gonna have to. And so I hire people to help me with that sometimes, babysitters and such.
And
All right.
you know what I decided to do? Like, this is a little off track, but I decided Santa did not wrap presents. So Santa presents did not get wrapped. It was only the presents for mom and dad and everybody else that got wrapped.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody has
too much.
has their traditions, right? But unfortunately, in our family, the tradition was Santa bought kind of the biggest and the best one gift, and then everything else was for mom and dad. So that doesn't help me too much. But I have tried that. Bites don't get wrapped. Anyway, soup and s'mores, a pie party, that's a wrap party, charcuterie, red and white wine, sort of cheese and wine gathering at your home social, a chili cook-off, axe throwing and cornhole competition, letters from Santa, pictures with Santa, Buddy the Elf, and Grinch. You can do like a picture sort of situation. Vision goals and planning day with either business partners and moms and families. I'm going to do that this year. That's a little different than I've done in the past. I've always kept that very business oriented with like my team. But this year I'm going to open it up to families and moms who are like, I just wish I had better planning throughout the year for my family, for fun things, and a little more intentional. So I'm going to jump on that train and do that with some friends. Attend local markets and festivals, a wrapping paper pop by, which is kind of like that's a wrap party, a Christmas light competition in your neighborhood or street, luminaries, providing those and picking the day that you're going to do that. Sponsor a neighborhood. If you don't live, like I don't live in a neighborhood, I live on a street. So you could sponsor a neyborhood with somebody else that you've sold with, or maybe a neighborhood that you've sold several homes in. Even if you don't live there, you could be the sponsor. Let's see, key wooden Christmas ornaments. So sending out Christmas ornaments to those that you've bought with this year or sold with, hot chocolate and cookie bars, a Friendsgiving, a community theater, putting an ad in the community theater and doing something that way. This time of year, a lot of people attend community theaters. Their kids, grandkids are in plays. It's a good way to put your name out there. High school choirs, you can hire those high school choirs and send them as carolers to nursing homes and to other places of such. So just something interesting to consider. Anytime that you can put a couple of different groups of people and connections together doing one event, I think those are kind of stellar, right? Because you're just grabbing multiple groups to accomplish the one thing. You can sponsor a shelter home meal or something during the holiday season. Take you and your team or your family or your life group or whatever you're part of and go do that. Some of these things are not necessarily like, hey, you're just going to get business out of that right away, right? Like some of it's just good to do and to do within the community, to show who you are as a person. And then it's okay to post that picture later or that video later and say, hey, these are things we're doing. Because people like to work with and support those who are doing great things, so we've helped to sponsor adoptions in the past because adoption and foster care is really big to our hearts, thus 6 adoptions. And so I think our clients and our friends like to know that when they buy or sell with us, that sometimes there have been seasons where some of those proceeds were directly going to helping another family adopt or meet a foster care family's need or something. So whatever you want to do, that's fine. Cookie swap, local markets, again, finding out what parades are in town and maybe being part of a local parade. Depends on what kind of area you live in. Oh, the blessing lanterns or wish lanterns. I'm not even sure what they're called. They're a little scary to me at times. I'm always scared we're going to get in trouble, but you light them and you send them up in the air and they're super cool. We did that in conjunction with a Friendsgiving last year. It was so much fun. All of the tweens and teens that came with their parents that got drugged to the Callahan home for a sit down dinner. Thought that that was like the most baller move ever. And, you know, as parents, we were a little bit terrified that it was going to catch somebody's house on fire. So make sure you have a really good spot to do it. But it is a lot of fun and it is very memorable. Operation Christmas Child or some other type of organization that you would like to partner with is a great way to say, hey, you know, drop off something here, have a gift for them. Maybe you give them a little pumpkin or a pie or whatever, and you can go from there. So believe it or not, that was 25 or more things. Hopefully something in there is like, oh, I could do that, or I want to know more about it. And I'm just going to open it up. What do you guys want to talk about? Like, to me, this is the season and the time. We run a 100% referral based business. We do about 10 million in production, which in our market right now equates to around 30 homes or more every year. And we don't buy ads. And I've got I homeschool, so I've got children trying to walk in. So I don't know where dad's at. So I'll open it up to you guys while I mute myself and get rid of a child.
So did anything jump out with anybody? One thing I'll throw out there is, you know, I have done several things over the course of my career in real estate, and many times I will get a lender and or a title company to partner with me. So you're not out all the expense. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, some of this stuff is going to cost so much money and maybe you don't have the budget to do that, your lender and your title company and usually a home inspector and all those folks that you work with on a regular basis, most all of them are more than willing to share the cost with you on some of these things. So just know that that's an option. But I just want to open it up. Did any of those items jump out to you guys and you want to talk a little bit more? Like, I want to create this as a mastermind forum. So let's kind of talk about some of those ideas. What jumped out to somebody?
I'll talk actually. I like the, I actually do like the That's a Wrap one. We do have a couple of high school kids that, Shelly in my office has two really incredibly athletic kids that are involved in a lot of sports. And I think that would be super fun to get them involved in something like that. One thing that I do a lot of client events. It's one thing that I enjoy doing. I've become really good friends with a lot of my clients. This year, what we're doing, it wasn't on the list. I think you actually did say holiday photos, but what we're doing is we are partnering with a mortgage lender that I use all the time, and we are doing holiday photos. My husband's actually designing a backdrop for us, and so we're just doing it more. Instead of it being super Christmassy, we're doing like white, green, and black. And we're going to do that in November so people can use it for their Christmas cards. So that's always kind. And then we have somebody come in that's doing a big charcuterie table. So when people come, we're going to have a hot cocoa bar and then a charcuterie table so people can kind of grab things and go, kind of thing. So that's one thing that
I post that at, Joe? Like Amber, she's got a lot of land. They've got a really big spot out there, but not everybody has that. So where do you host a lot of your events at?
So a couple things. So the one we're doing for the holiday photos, normally I do that at my office. So I actually have, truth be told, you guys, I actually commandeered my husband's shop. He's a home builder here in Billings, and we kind of commandeered his warehouse for our office. I'm not going to lie, we did. We started it with one of the small offices and then just kind of branched out, so he doesn't appreciate that some days, but we actually do have a big space where we can do it there. But this particular event we're actually doing at the mortgage lender. She has a pretty big space in the back, and people are going to come and go. So it should be, we're kind of expecting, and we just sent stuff out. We're kind of expecting, probably 150, 200 people. So that should be really fun. And so, yeah, I mean, it's so hard to figure out what the right thing to do is, but I figured the more we just push ourselves out there, the better it is. And, sometimes you don't get something that day, but you might see it 3-4 months down the road, and it's always worth it.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
We did one year, 3 years ago, my lender actually put this on. She had us come out, and she bought everything. She bought like the gifts. And one of the things that she had was really nice wrapping paper and the tape, and there was something else with it, maybe a name tag. All of it was like really nicely done, right, tied together. But there were multiple. She had a nice bottle of wine that was packaged very nice, and so you could come, and actually we were putting the individual gifts together, but we got to take several of them, and then we went and hand delivered them to our clients. So.
Wow, Cindy.
Yeah, somebody's having fun. Okay, everybody. But we actually hand delivered some really nice Christmas paper, to just some, drop-offs. If any of you follow Brian Buffini, he talks about the drop-offs all the time. And, that was one of the things that we did, I think 2 years ago, is drop off like a really, really nice wrapping paper with the tape and everything with it. I like the idea though of getting them together because, you're spending time, you're engaging, all of that, and having the teenagers there. Cause like Amber, I hate wrapping. Like when those bags came out, that was the best thing ever invented. For sure.
So I just want to pop into like the conversation of this as far as where to have things. So if you can get pretty creative, we host a lot of things at our house. Before you mentioned that we have property now, and we have 2 acres. So it does help a little bit with that. But before that, we used to have like basically a 1,400 square foot home on a little 1/4 acre lot in a downtown area that had no parking. And our biggest party was 147 people. Yeah. So I don't want you to use that as an excuse not to do the thing, because you just have to go do it. And here's the thing, the invite matters as much as anything. The invite and then the follow-up after the invite. So a lot of people, it's a very busy time of the season. I believe in the save the date. Do the little video and say, hey, Sunshine Callahan here. We're having a party on such and such a date. We'd love to have you and the kids come over, pop by for hot chocolate, and take a picture with Santa. That is something we're actually doing this year, so I can say that really well. Come take a picture with Santa and get some hot chocolate. We have a little gift for you, whatever. And just let them come by. So if you have a limited space, the way to get around that is do come and go, right? So you've got a time frame. We're doing this from 6 to 8:30 or 6 to 9 or 6, it depends on your clientele. Like your vibe attracts your tribe, even though my husband and I are really young. Not really, we try to be, but our kids are really young, right? So we tend to still get that demographic of younger families because they assume for a moment that we are, even though we're not. Please go back out of my office. See, exactly that. It's like real life around here, people, every day. So don't let your space be limiting to you, right? And don't worry so much about budget. Like we've hosted so many. My dad's a pastor. We do a lot with churches. A lot of our clients are from church. We have a very mixed group of friends and influence, right? So we do total teetotaler parties. I have never bought alcohol for a single party that we've ever hosted. And so you don't have to. I'm not saying don't. I'm not judging it if you do. I'm just throwing out the things that I hear from people in the quiet moments. Hey, can you shut my office door, please? In the quiet moments of why they don't do the thing, right? You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You can spend $200 or $300 and still have a big impact. It's about the invite. It's about the follow-up if they don't attend. One of the coolest things that I heard a while back, and I think it was a Michael Mayer training that I was listening to, and he was talking about when the person doesn't come and you notice that they didn't come. You look back at the picture and say, who got the invite but did not make it, did not RSVP, or was not able to attend. And you send those people the text, hey, we really missed you. I hope you can make it next year. Like that would mean so much to me, that you didn't just get like social media blasted, the 400,000 people that Sunshine and Paul know, you got the random invite that everybody got, whatever. Like, hey, you didn't show up. We missed you. Would love to see your face at the next whatever that you want to invite them to. So it's about the invite. It's about the follow-up from the invite, and then just keeping it like real with your people. We do a lot of potluck. I mean, I'm in the South. I'm from Texas. I live in Florida. Maybe it's just who we are. I don't know. Maybe it's that everybody has kids and they're like, what can we bring? And so I stopped saying, oh, don't bring anything, because y'all, there's 150 people and all of their minions here. It gets expensive. So if I say, yeah, we'll just bring a side or bring a dessert or whatever, it works out. So just be willing to not like, it can be as posh as you want, like, you know, and you might do something that's completely different than what I would do. Jeff Morrell, you guys are going to probably do something completely different than what I do. And that's okay. Let everybody live in their space and be great in it. And I just want to release some folks from feeling like it has to be so tight knit. Like it doesn't. And your friends will remember it. And I have had friends who have made friends with my other friends, and they want to come to the party just because they want to see my other friend. It's like the most random thing that you've ever heard of. So consistency is key there.
You know, one thing, let me add into that. When you were talking about going back to the ones who didn't make it, right? And inviting, a couple of things that I'll add on, and I don't know if you do this, Amber, is it's important to, you want to send a save the date, but then call all of those people, right? Specifically call them all and invite them. Hey, I just want to make sure you got the invite, because again, that means more. And if you really want to take it to another level, shoot them a video and, you know, send them a video like, hey, Amber, I hope you got the invite today. You know, I hope you got the invite, you know, come out. But I think also the video would be neat on the back end if they didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's a personalized video. Amber, man, we really missed you at the party. I hope you can come next year. You know, we're going to be doing other events during the year. Like, you know, I hope you can come. We missed you type thing. So if I got a video message that was personalized saying that I was missed at a party, that would even mean more. You know?
Yep. So we try to coach ourselves and everybody else that we talk to on when you're going to host an event, a party, a client appreciation, whatever it is, that you really want to analyze it from start to finish. What does the invite look like, right? What is that invitation that nobody wants to not be there for? I mean, make it sound great. Hey, come by and take a picture with the kids. That doesn't sound great to me, right? Make it sound great. Santa's going to be here. We've got hot chocolate and a cookie bar. You're going to take some home. And I mean, like, amp it up. It's the same thing that you were already inviting them to. I didn't actually add anything that I wasn't already planning to do. I'm not going to have them show up in my yard and take a picture. There's a reason. So really communicate what it is you're doing. What is the value to their family to drive across town? It's a free picture. Is it just a picture, or did you hire a photographer to come over and take pictures? Well, we've hired a photographer. So I'm going to say we've got a professional photographer here to take pictures with Santa. He's a beautiful Santa, a jolly Santa. We're going to have so much fun. We've got a little station for you to write your wish list to Santa. I mean, some people will participate, some people won't, but make it great, make it fun. Really think through, what is the invite? How does that invite get communicated? Then the actual event itself, make sure you do what you said you were going to do. You know, that's a big one. Make sure you do what you said you were going to do there. And then the follow-up afterwards. Thank you for coming. Sorry we missed you. Whatever that happens to be. Make sure that you get all three of those buckets. I like the fast and easy, guys. And I think writing your list of who you actually want to come to these events is really important, because you may discover that you don't need to hold a huge event. Maybe an easy soup and s'mores or wine and charcuterie board sort of thing at the house, something very chill, low vibe. Maybe it's not even something that you host. Maybe it's something you just invite to. Like, you go, you know what, we really like the 6 couples, and let's go do an escape room together and call that our Christmas gift to them. I mean, you don't have to host necessarily. You can just invite, be a professional inviter to things, and think about what are fun things that encourage people to communicate and collaborate and work together. What 6 groups would, what 6 couples would, if I could put these 6 friends in a room, what kind of sparks would fly? Like, how much fun would these people have? Because people remember when they have fun, right? They're going to come back for more fun. Man, I had so much fun when I got together with Kathy and Sean and Jeff, and we were all in the same room hanging out with Ann, and she was just making the most awesome Italian food. Like, it was a hoot. I would do that again any day of the week, right? Like, that's what we have to think about is building and creating those environments and times so that people do want to come back to them. So a soup and s'mores party, it can be as easy as a pie party. I have a friend, I've never hosted one. I'm thinking to do it this year just because we're busy this year. We've got so much going on. I need the fast and easy that still hit home. But I have a friend who does a pie party and everybody wants an invite to her pie party. She's done it for years. She's not in real estate. It's just something that she does. And everybody wants to go to it. And we got the invite one year and I was like, you know what? Come hell or high water, we are going to that party. We're going to finally make it over there. And the house was packed. I think they do water pressure. Like they have a water pressure business, whatever, like cleaning.
So do they so what do they do at the pie party? Do they do
The
different?
pie party, there was all these pies, just tons of pies and coffee, and people came in, and I mean, they weren't like, no offense, anybody anywhere. They wasn't like they were like old folks or anything. It was just, that's what she did. Like, and people came, they ate pie, they hung out, they met with other people, and I guess that was it. And I was just amazed that people came. Like, I just wanted to go see because she did it every single year. I see Jeff like looking like.
Does everybody bring a pie?
Yeah.
No.
She supplies all the pies.
I think she supplies all the pie. Now, I'm not a pie maker.
I'm in.
But exactly, like, who doesn't want a good pie? So, I mean, maybe you'll have people who would want to donate their skills in that arena. That time of year, people love to bake and cook. So you could do, the old fashioned cookie swap thing where you come with 12 and you leave with 12 and you eat some while you're there. I don't know, like everything can be different.
Can I ask Amber, like when you, like going back to your invite, so are you doing, what kind of invites do you do? Do you print stuff out and mail it out? No? Okay. That's old school?
Yeah, no, it's not old school. It's this mom just never gets around to getting it done.
I understand.
I can tell you how many times I've printed things and they sat on my desk.
Yeah. Talk about that for a minute in terms of just different ways that you invite, again, I'm just ideas.
So I did this year for my 4th of July party. We have 2 big parties a year. I do a 3rd of July, the day before the 4th. I do a 3rd of July party and I do a Christmas party. In years past, those have been the 2 big events we go all out for. This year I did actually, because of the last 2 years being so wonky donkey, I did send out a paper invite and I think it probably helped. We had 168 people come to our 3rd of July party this year. So I have considered that again. And it was a very simple invite. I just ripped it off of, Etsy or whatever, printed it in Canva, called that a day.
How many did you invite with the 168 showing up?
I only sent that to our client list. And then I have probably 12 people that I consider my like A+ that are not necessarily clients, but they always refer and recommend. So those are I only send out 75 paper invites.
And then what did you do on that day? Did you do the chili cook-off on that day or what were you doing?
No, our 4th of July party is a potluck sort of situation. I think this year we actually told everybody just bring a side and we did like sausage dogs. So not hot dogs, but we bought they were actually awesome from Sam's. We got the really big sausage dogs and, the good old butter bread and, we made it as good as we could for it's 4th of July. It's hot. It's Florida. It's freaking sweating our beads off out here. So we opened up our pool. It was the first year that we've had a pool. So we called it a pool party as well. Go ahead and do that. I did hire a lifeguard for the pool just because, well, obviously it's a lifeguard for a pool. Parents are distracted and it's so fast and easy, right? So that gave me peace of mind. So if you are going to have a big party and you have an open anything like that, that was a good idea that my mom actually recommended. She's like, you need a lifeguard. I was like, a lifeguard? And I was like, actually that's a great idea. So that was the best $60 of the party that we spent. I always do a big, huge bounce, wet water bounce thing. Again, it's summer, it's Florida, it's hot. So we did that. And then we do a big fireworks show and we ask everybody to bring a side and a firework to set off. So that's what they bring. We provide the rest. I do all the cups, drinks, platters. I mean, I always provide a ton of food anyway. Like that's just what I'm going to do. And we invite everybody. I mean, everybody gets invited to that.
So
party.
if you're not doing the paper invite, to Jeff's question, like you said, you don't always get
I
that.
make a Canva invite text. That's usually the first one that will go out if I don't get, and a lot of times I don't get responses from that very quickly, if at all. I got a lot of RSVPs from the paper. So if you can figure out the best way to get your paper invites done, and by the way, I had my assistant help me get that done. I just decided we're going to do that this year. I'm going to spend the time and the money, and I'm going to make my assistant do it so that it actually gets done instead of me being like, oh, it's cute, I'll handwrite it. Yeah, right. I do not have time to get all of that handwritten and done. So I spent some time earlier this year, actually at Kathy Carter's condo, getting some things for these sort of things prepared, things that you know you're already going to do, because all of our business is revolved around people and just including people. I went ahead and made sure that I had labels galore already made, so that when the bright idea struck me, all I had to do was rip and stick and it was done. So all of our happy home anniversary cards, I printed them off so that they're ready to rock and roll. All I have to do is I'm doing Hobby Lobby gift cards. I think they stick out a little bit more than just like, oh, I got another coffee card or whatever else. So it's more personalized towards your home. You could do Home Depot or Lowe's or something else like that if you want to. Harbor Freight if it's, a dude or whatever. But I did Hobby Lobby cards and just said happy home anniversary. And, we just wrote an offer because of one of those cards that I sent out last month. So talk about quick return on investment. I spent $100. I've already written an offer. And it was a referral of a neighbor, so that was pretty cool. And it was from somebody that I hadn't heard from in a while. So I think right now is like the time after the last 2 years that we've all had, it just makes more sense to be more intentional with the relationships and really like press for people to get back into your sphere.
Well, you made a good
So you can do the video invites. I used to make one invite and it would go like, hey friend, it's Sunshine. And actually, I mean, if you're texting with somebody, you don't need to say who you are. I mean, that's kind of dumb and redundant, right? So like, hey friend, I just wanted to make sure that you're doing well. Wanted you to save the date. We're having a Friendsgiving here at the house on the 10th. You and your family are invited. More details to come, but I wanted to make sure that you got this. Let me know how, if you've got such and such date open, or however you want to do it. Practice it a few times, keep it to 30 seconds or less so that it can text to any platform. And I would send that to people's cell phone if you have it, send it to their messenger if you have it, really make sure that they're getting it. And I think just hitting people a couple of different ways. I like to work smarter, not harder. So I know people like the personal, hey, Kathy, it's Amber or whatever. I'm more likely to do, hey, friend, good to see you, because I say hi, friend, to everybody anyway. So
yeah,
even my kids the other day, I was like, all right, friend. And they're like, I'm not your friend, your daughter. I was like, whoops. Habits.
So let's go back to kind of your list and maybe anyone else's list. Did anything else jump? Oh, well, before I do that, Sherry had a
question
in the box. She was like, you mentioned a gift for the Santa pictures. Like, what recommendations do you have, or what have you done? Or like I said, what recommendations would you have for that?
So I do a gift every year for whoever purchased with us throughout the year, because they always get closing gifts anyway, but whoever was buying or selling, we do a Christmas key. It's wood. It's engraved. Our name is on the back of it and it says Merry Christmas from the Calla Crew. And I buy them from Orange Blossom Homes. They just do an amazing job. I can provide that link somewhere, but they're on Etsy, Orange Blossom Homes US. And it's wood and it's just gorgeous. It's just like really nicely engraved, and you can put anything you want on the back. You can put your logo, you can put your name. I decided against logo and just sticking kind of with our name. just because I really wanted it to feel very personal and not like we slapped you with something from our business and our extra stash or something like that. So we do those, but I think you just think through, like, if you're providing a professional photographer, for instance, at this thing, maybe you're not doing Santa, but you do this nice little backdrop area or create something really pretty around the tree, and a professional photographer takes a picture. Is it not a gift to take down, say, hey, we're going to print this and send it to you? Or to have it emailed to them so that they can send it out to other things. I mean, you can really think through what kind of gifts you want to do. It depends on the group and the vibe that you're trying to create. I don't try to create like a big thing around me giving you something. This is more about me creating an opportunity or an experience for you and your family, and just continuing the relationship. So that's,
1 year, I think it was in 2019 before COVID hit, we did a pictures with your pet day. So I bought a bunch of pet costumes, dog costumes, really dogs. People brought dogs. I bought a bunch of them just in different places, from different places. So I had small, medium, and large. And I had a professional photographer out there, and, everybody loves their pets like they love their kids. And so we had a professional photographer, and then I emailed the pictures to them afterwards. So they could put their dogs and whatever animals that they want. I had a pet mobile service out there, right? Pet mobile grooming company out there. And so I set it up like that. And that was really a pretty big hit. People love all that. But what else jumped out to somebody else chime in on what jumped out of her list of things that she spouted off, or something different that you've done that maybe some other people that you got value from, that other people would get value from?
Guys, one of the things I would tell you, think about, if you were late getting on here, because I know we've had people continuing to come in throughout, go back and watch the recording of this. And Amber, maybe you could send us, email it to Kathy or myself or whatever. Here's the list that you had. We could even just post it in the group with the recording of this. Because if you missed it, guys, she went through 25 things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, great ideas.
Sorry. And some of them that have been really fun, I'm looking at the list again. So the Christmas light competition, if you're in a neighborhood and you can kind of be the wrangler of that, get with your lender, title person, whatever, you're going to have a great gift or gift card. They have to have their lights up by December 5th or whatever weekend you choose, but keep it early in December so that it gets done, so that you can give them the Amazon gift. So maybe first or second week, get a local, I wanted to say local celebrity, but just a local representative of some sort, maybe it's a mayor or a sheriff or local pastor, two or three people that can be the judges, right, of the Christmas light competition. And what I did is I did door hangers with a card that just said, welcome to the Christmas light fight. I think I did it in 2020 for the first time, right? Because we were all kind of shut down. It was just people needed a little cheer. And we don't live in a neighborhood. So I just said, welcome to the local light fight. We're gonna do Christmas light competition for Old Mount Dora Road. And there's probably 70 houses down this road till you get back to the interstate, right? And it's we're condensed, but we're just not a neighborhood. So you can do it in a neighborhood or not. And you just put it out there. I put a little candy cane in it with the instructions. And then I created a Facebook group that said, hey, if you want more details or to connect here, do that there. Here, whether you say you're doing it or not, if I see Christmas lights, I'm assuming you have joined the competition and you will be judged on this date by these people. And then we will be passing out the awards to the winners, and we will post it in the Facebook group. So I didn't have a ton of people join the Facebook group the first time around. Probably execution on my part. So just make sure you don't take on more than you can handle. Just being honest, but we had a lot of people participate. So that's what was cool. A lot of people participated, and it gave us a reason to kind of follow up with them. So again, key on the follow-up, whatever event you choose to do, make sure you just think through or bring it to the group and say, okay, I did this event. How would you follow up? I get some of my best ideas from all of you guys, and then I just write them down and I keep a running list, because you never know, the season may change and you want to do something different. So that's a fun one You could do the wishing lanterns. Y'all, you can get 125 white paper bags for $12 on Amazon. You know, you drop it off with all the things that they need inside, which is like literally a candle, like the little tea light. And you drop them off in your neighborhood and say, hey, on Christmas Eve. So the tradition of, and I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was, but I had seen a neighborhood who had done it for a couple of years and then they quit. And I'm wondering if maybe the person who had championed that either passed or moved or what have you. It was like, you know, the legacy of it was that it was leading the way for Joseph and Mary to Bethlehem. So it's done on Christmas Eve. And it was just beautiful. Like this little neighborhood, just, you know, probably 80 houses in there. It was always at the end of and it's at the end of your driveway.
That's
so
awesome.
It would cost you nothing. I mean, like less than $50.
If you farm an area, what a great idea, you know, to just add that in. And going back to your idea about the contest, like it came to mind when you were talking about the contest and judging the contest. Like, what about when you're presenting the gift to the winner, right? The Amazon gift card, if you made it like a big publisher clearinghouse, you know, make it a big deal and have somebody videoing you while you're doing that, right? You know, I don't know why that idea came to mind, but just make it that much more special, but then have it all over social media too. Like, you know, because if it's a really big deal and people are like, man, I want to win next year. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Well, and that was the thing, like we should have had maybe a bigger prize. I think it was like a $50 Amazon gift card or something. You know, and again, that was 2020. Now knowing and doing as much as I've done, even over the last 2 years, I'd be like, that should have been like a $400, you know, huge TV, 52-inch, you know, something like that people were really like, I'm doing it, you know.
And again, your lenders and everybody are happy to help. Like you don't have to spend, you know, you don't have to provide all of that for anybody listening here. You know, they were like, if you don't have the money and the cash flow and you haven't budgeted for that, like get creative, get resourceful, right? You know, there's tons of
chili cook-off for your neighborhood is a lot of fun. If you don't mind using your driveway, I mean, you can invite people in or you can keep it outside, however you want to do it, but you invite everybody to participate. Again, there's an award for the best chili. Come out, bring your lawn chair. You can either do a chili crawl where everybody sets up their own little table at the end of the driveway, of their own driveway, and you kind of like walk the chili crawl. Or you can just have everybody bring it to yours and do it that way. But again, just different vibes for different tribes and what would actually work. But that's a lot of fun.
Amber.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for having this Freedom team. I didn't know they met. So thank you for all the sharing. I just wanted to chime in with something I did last year. I just listening to all these parties gives me anxiety. And I love to throw parties, you know, and I could throw them all day long in my house, 50, 100 people. But for some reason, I get like a mental block when it comes to my clients. And so last year, I did something with my team and it was really good because I'm mostly a listing agent. It's hard for me to get lenders to give me money because I don't really use buyers, you know, like I don't reciprocate. I mean, they would pay, but I don't like to take money from people who I can't reciprocate because I don't have a ton of buyers. And so I had in my organization, you know, we have some ICON agents and they are big buyer agents. So there was about 4 of us and they just planned the party. They got the lenders to chime in and the title company and everybody to participate. And I think I had the biggest turnout because they were sort of newer agents and, you know, kind of only in the business a couple of years. And I just piggybacked. They arranged it. They picked the venue. They had it, you know, it only cost me about like $500 and I had like 200 people there. Anyway, it was just, I got the biggest blessing from it because I had the most people, and they got blessed because they looked bigger than they were. You know, so they look like they had all these people. So anyway, I just put a plug in. If you don't have the business or you don't have the lenders, partner up. Now people get afraid of that. And that was an issue. They're like, oh, they're going to steal my client. I mean, that's the stupidest thing ever. But you know, obviously, if you're worried about that, don't do it. But if you partner with the right people, you can plan a nice event and just have it paid for, and you could just kind of partner up together. So
Good.
Great idea.
You
You
can
know,
do
one thing
12
you
days of
mentioned,
Christmas too.
Sunshine, that I really liked and I'd never thought of and never heard anybody talk about is getting high school carolers. Like, and
That's a
I
great
love
idea.
that idea. Like, you know, to go in through the neighborhood or down your street or whatever, to have them do that and then just contribute to their band. Like, they would all love that as well as the recipients of that. So that was a great idea. Have you actually done that, or is that just a great idea you have?
I did it in high school as a caroler. So I know that I haven't actually had one do it, and I'd actually forgotten about it. I'll give credit to Steve Young. He was on a call the other day and he threw that out there because I did this on my training call on on Wednesday morning. We did this last week. And so he was on there and he threw that out there that they just donate and do it that way. So I was like, oh, that's great. And I knew what he was talking about because I participated in it as a high school student. You know, you always wonder, like, how did they get us singing in this place, or why? You know, well, there's why, and that's how. Somebody donated to the band or to, you know, the choral group, and off to the races we went. So yeah, I think it's a great way to bring a lot of love and cheer for
Has
some.
anybody ever done a toy drive?
I'm doing one this year.
You are?
Mhm.
Are you doing it in conjunction with anything? So talk about that. Like, how have you set that up? How have you promoted it? Talk a little bit about that.
So I'm doing we're doing a soup and s'mores party at the end of the month, and everybody's gonna bring soup, or not everybody, whoever wants to bring. Like my crew will just say, hey, can I bring something? And if you say, hey, can I bring something, then you're the one that's bringing something, you know, like most people will just ask. And so I leave it open, and you know, God's good. It's always been enough. So people are going to come. We're going to do soup, s'mores. We're going to have the fire pits outside. Let the kids, you know, hopefully not light themselves up, but light a marshmallow. And I'm just saying it's a toy drive. So if you don't mind bringing a donation, I've always been really into Operation Christmas Child. We were missionaries in Russia and in Kazakhstan for several years, and we've had those boxes delivered to the places that we actually lived and were ministering to. And they're really cool. Like, it's so impactful. So it's an organization that I have firsthand experience with, that I'm passionate about. So we partner with that. And then on top of that, this year, I just actually moved my license to EXP commercial. So I've been in the residential game, you know, almost 8 years in January. And then this fall, just recently, moved over to the commercial side. So my husband is going to continue on the residential side. So, you know, shameless plug, if you're not in Florida and you need a guy or a girl, we got you. But, you know, oh gosh, what was I saying about that?
You were talking about being a missionary and the.
No. Oh, for the drop-offs. So on the commercial side of it, I'm actually going business to business over the next 2 weeks and looking for potential donations for the Lake County and Sumter County Foster Care Association. I've been part of that group for a long time. I'm now a part of the board as of this fall. And apparently we're way behind in the donations we would have usually had this time of year for the Christmas giveaway. So, I mean, just finding other organizations that you're already part of or passionate about and say, hey, are you guys doing okay this year? You know, we've all felt the effects of the last 2 years and whatever else you want to call it right now. And so I think organizations also are feeling that. So maybe charities and different groups that normally seem like they're doing fine may not be doing as well as they have in years past. So just reaching out and saying, hey, you guys doing okay with this? Do you need anything? And not saying that you specifically will provide it, but maybe your network can, whether that's agents. It's an easy way to reach out to agents and say, hey, you know, that was something that I was going to do for attraction. I'll just put it out there. I'm calling a bunch of top dog agents in the area and saying, hey, would you guys do $50 worth of gift cards for foster families, for the kids that are in care, for our older kids that are in care? it's a great way to start a conversation with another agent, that's not necessarily real estate related. I can call Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I saw you had a great listing on such and such. Love what you put out there. I work with this organization. I just wanted to see if I could get some other agents on board with helping out, making them aware of the need in the area. You can make it a thing with your clients if you'd like to. If you'd really like to go above and beyond, you can put it out there to your sphere and see if anybody wants to pitch in. But if you personally, as your business, want to, I want to show them that realtors in the area care. What a great, easy conversation with another agent. Think through it for yourself and whatever it happens to be. But those are the toy drives. So one, they're going to bring them to me for our thing, for the Christmas one. And the other one, I'm going to go kind of solicit it and just put myself out there with business owners.
Love it. So I had a question. Somebody, is this Craig, wanted a little more detail on the tea light idea? So you mentioned the, what did you call it? The
business light fight.
No, you mentioned the luminaries in the driveway, but then were you also talking about those ones that you let off in the sky, like those light up things?
Yeah, we've done those too.
Are those the ones that are $12 for so many?
No.
Is that the luminaries?
Those are the wishing lanterns, and those are wishing lanterns. They would be fun to give away at Thanksgiving. I don't know. My husband's like, they're illegal. And I'm like, I don't think they're actually illegal. I don't really know. So that's why I'm a little hesitant on a call like this to say, go do it. I did it. I'm not saying you should do it, but sometimes I'm a rule bender, not breaker, just bender. Nobody said I couldn't do it. I didn't know. So, we here in the country, we get away with a few things sometimes, like, hey.
The country of Orlando, huh?
The country of Orlando. Yeah, I am like really in Central Florida, just a little suburb off of. So we blame it on Mickey Mouse. There's a big rodent issue.
That's right. It's always Mickey's fault. Craig, is it Craig? Is that who that is? What's your specific question that you have around, want more details on that?
Calling the luminary bags the wishing lanterns. So yeah, two different things. One is like, if you've seen the kids movie Rapunzel and they sent up all the wishing lanterns and they were so magical and everybody thought that was great. Those are what I'm calling wishing lanterns. I have no idea what they're actually called, but you light them and you send them into the air. They're huge. A little bit of a fire hazard potential. I think that might be why my husband thinks that they're illegal, but I don't think they're illegal. You can look it up in your area. Maybe every county's different. The luminaries, on the other hand, are just like the white paper bag that you put at the end of your driveway, pretty hassle-free. Somebody even said on one of the calls you could do the electronic little tea lights if you really wanted to be that safe and cautious. You could go that route. I can't hardly keep those things lit to save my life anyway, so I feel like you're probably safe just putting it out there. But that's me. I'm also somebody that has 6 kids, so crazy is as crazy does.
Could you put a little sand in the bag or something like,
you can put a little
sand in the bag, just keep it heavy and then put the tea light in there or whatever, lights the bag.
I mean, it's only supposed to be there for like a couple hours one evening, y'all. Like, hey, everybody put it out at 7, like let's light the way. I think we overthink it sometimes because what if, when really we just need to go do the thing. It's really the touch point that matters the most, right? It's not that they follow through with the action. Oh, that one house didn't do it. They broke the chain. Like, it's not like that. It's really that, hey, you were thought of, you were included. This is who we are. This is what we do. We think your neighborhood's great, right? Like, it's
Jerry said, do you put your business card in there?
Yeah, when I give them the supplies, I mean, hopefully they don't light it on fire or anything. Yeah, I'm going to put my business card in there. I think creating a little Facebook group for your community and that you put a QR code on something that, hey, just for the next fun community event that we decide to throw out there, follow on here, just, again, that's what I'm saying as far as like really thinking through, like if you're going to put in all the time and effort to do anything, just do it as well as you possibly can. And we're always learning, fail forward, right? I mean, our events have gotten better and better and better.
When you're doing these events, specific events, like at your home or wherever you hold them, have you found better days of the week? Do you always try to do it on a weekend, or are you doing it on an evening during the week? What have you found best, or have you played with the different options?
Yeah, I just think it's generally speaking hard. So I try to avoid any major community event that I know would be going on, any major sporting event that I know would be going on. You're not going to please everybody and you can't catch everyone, you know, so that's just is what it is. You could have your most raving fan wake up sick the next day and they don't come. So you can't plan around everything. You got to do what works for you. I've also found I want to do the events that I want to do. If I get left there holding the bag entirely on my own, I want to be in a place and a space that I would have gone to and enjoyed anyway with the few people who did show up, right? So like if you're planning this one thing because you're trying to get this one client, then go do the one thing with the one person. Like, you know, do things that you genuinely like enjoy, that you're okay, that, hey, we didn't have 80 people showed up, but we had 20 and we had a good time anyway. I think that's one reason I do them a lot at my house. I'm not spending extra money. I mean, I already pay the mortgage here every month. So I can say, yeah, you know, that was a $1,700 venue. You know, like just, I'm already somewhere where I'm going to be and show up to. So I don't know.
I've been looking around here. I'm in Colorado Springs, and I've talked about this before on here because I like doing this wintertime. It's kind of cool. I've been looking at a couple local theaters, movie theaters, because you can rent out the theater, you know, and do like a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. You know, and now because everything's digital, you know, so they literally had a list. Like here's like every Christmas movie you could think of. I mean, from you know, I mean, whatever. And you can, which one do you want to watch with your group? You know, it could be anything. It could be, you know,
for that. I'm just curious.
What's that?
That was something I was going to look into at ours.
It was like very minimal. I mean, I forget like to rent out the theater if it's it's a little bit of an off time. So like to do like a Saturday morning, like a 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock before they really get into their day of showings. And one of these theaters that's got, you know, 16 screens or something, like the one I was looking at it, and it's locally owned here. It was like $300. You know what, for the theater. And then, you know, we're going to get like a lender, you know, probably to come in with us, maybe a title company, whatever. We'll do some invites out, you know, whatever. Everybody will get a thing for popcorn, you know, like that. We provide that. Again, we do that, you know, over here, you got a place where you're taking the pictures with Santa kind of thing. And then we do like a Christmas movie. It could be, you know, whatever, something that the family would enjoy, you know, but they had a list literally of every Christmas movie you could think of. I mean, going back to the 1940s, you know, It's a Wonderful Life up to, you know, Christmas Vacation to all the more recent ones, whatever. And you know, a lot of the animated ones, just different things you could do like that, whatever. And so it was very minimal, cheap.
So you actually have the pictures with Santa and the movie and the popcorn, and you and your title company and your lender go in together and pay for all that.
We're looking at it. Yeah. And it honestly be very minimal on the cost. You know, the lender's all on board, you know, in terms of like, you know, because again, here's like everybody gets a coupon when they get in there for, you know, like a large popcorn, you know, whatever, like small drinks or whatever. Everybody gets that. They can buy more things, you know, whatever. And so, yeah.
How many people do you think you can hold, and how many would you invite to make sure?
I think we'll figure that out. I think it's, I think the theater we were looking at holds like, it was like 200 people or something. I mean, it was like a, you know, so something along that line.
Like 4 tickets per household or 2 per household or something like that?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, kind of like it'll be kind of a first come, first serve thing. I mean, when it's sold out, it's sold out kind of thing.
Yeah, because if Sunshine shows up, she's bringing 14 people with her.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just putting this together. It's just an idea that, I mean, we've done it before. And so we're just looking at it. I literally just in the last few days went out and stopped at a couple theaters to see what they had available, you know?
I'm doing a similar thing, but I'm using our church has a satellite campus that has a smaller, like main room, theater, whatever, auditorium. That's the word I was looking for. And so of course it has the big screen and great sound system and stuff. So I'm actually looking at renting the auditorium and inviting all of our past clients there, putting whatever movie I've chosen. And then I can do my own popcorn and drinks so much cheaper, and I don't have to worry about who's in, who's not in. So that's just another idea of a way to do it if you feel like you can't afford the actual theater itself. Think of another place that might have a really great sound system and a huge screen. So
What's a couple of good movies that would be good, Amber? That's good that the adults would like and the kid, that's kid friendly too.
I mean, all y'all could probably come up with better
There's been
ideas.
some good ones even the last couple of years. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
there was an animated like a new Grinch movie that came out like a couple of years ago that was it's really funny. We watched it last year. There's been several here. I forget the names of them, but more like animated, but yet they're almost like Shrek, where it's like the adults have just as much fun as the kids do.
Yeah.
It's more
I
that
like
kind of thing.
The Star was a really sweet one. Kind of musical, had some little like, I mean, it's more of a Christian toned kind of thing, but they did a really good job where it wasn't like weird. It was really done well. So I like that one. That's one that we're gonna play outside. We're gonna do an outside theater at our house.
Yeah.
that we're gonna play
Can't
this
do that in Colorado Springs in December, Jeff, probably.
No, not December.
I do not
We'll be
recommend
indoors.
frostbite.
No,
If
exactly.
I lived there, I would be doing a tubing event. Like that was just, I would do tubing and
I
hot.
don't know. You could show the Frozen movie and do it maybe.
Oh my gosh, if somebody plays Frozen, no.
One more
Yeah.
time.
As the adults all stay away.
Let's let it go, okay?
All right. Well, we're just past the top of the hour. Does anybody have any last question or last thought they want to throw out there? Amber, thank you so much for
Thank you,
just
Amber.
coming and sharing all those ideas and getting everybody's ideas and juices flowing. Anybody else have any last thing that they want to throw out?
Hey, I'm gonna tell everybody one last one we didn't talk about. Letters from Santa. I know we're sticking on the Christmassy theme, but I mean, we're basically there, y'all. So the
Mhm.
letters from Santa is pretty much free to you. This is how you do it. You just put out a message on your Facebook, Instagram, whatever you use, send it out as a email if you're in KV Core and such, that says, hey, if you have a child or grandchild who would like to write to Santa and have Santa write back, please have them write their letter and text me a legible copy of the letter. So they don't have to send you the letter. That cuts down on their time. Text me a copy of it and your email or your mailing address and the kid's name, and we will send them a letter. So then you have a little Santa writing party at night. And as those things come in, you just write out a quick note back. I hear you've been really nice this year, and I see you're looking for such and such. I mean, we had such a blast writing. We only had like 30 people. I mean, we sent it out to a ton of people, but we only had like 30 actually do it, right? And so it was really fast and easy for us to just like, once we did one or two, at first I was like, what are we going to say? And I'm like, well, what would Santa say? Like naughty or nice, and sure you're in bed and brush your teeth. I don't know, like whatever you want to write. And so we did that and we sent them out and people absolutely loved it. And you can have 5 people writing them because they're not going to the same household. So it doesn't matter if it's the same sick, like nobody knows. Nobody cares. I don't recommend like printing them because that's a little less personal, right? But just a quick note back, and we just sent it back to the kid and said, hey, Johnny got your letter. Looks like you're on the nice list. So Christmas should be a good one for you. You keep behaving. See you soon, Santa.
That's good.
So it was pretty free and cheap, but it was a lot of fun, and it was fun to post about. So if you follow us on social media, you'll start seeing some of that here coming up soon. So
yeah, you mentioned how Christmas is right around the corner. Our local Costco had Christmas. They had their first big Christmas tree out in July. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's too early.
Yeah, I know.
And
Crazy. It's right around the
around
corner.
that too, last I heard. So
Jeez.
hey, I'm part of the Freedom team, so I need to be on these calls more often with you guys.
Every Tuesday.
Inviting us. Yeah, we do one with our group on Tuesday as well. So it's like 9:30 and then
Yeah.
Let your team know too. Yeah, for sure. Well, Amber, thank you again so much. You're awesome. We just appreciate you so much. And everybody have a great day. This will be posted in the Freedom team. And it will be, if not later today, it'll be there tomorrow. And then Amber, if you wouldn't mind, either you can send it to me or you can pop it in Freedom Team when it's posted. But you'd mentioned that orange blossom, I can't remember the last part of it.
Orange
But
Blossom Homes and Personalize Your Real Estate by the letter V are my 2 go-to systems that I use. Personalize Your Real Estate by the letter V, VEE, is they make like cards, pop buys, tags, it's all your printable things, right? And so she creates it for like everything under the sun. And if she doesn't have something that you want, you can just message her. And so for your membership, I think it's like $100 for the year. It was something really ridiculously cheap. And I pop in there all the time and just, I pull it into Canva, add my name and number to it. And, you know, they have all the different sizes and all the different shapes, you know, so that you can do it as a door hanger or a pop-by tag or an actual card in the mail. And so I love her stuff. It's really classy, you know, that kind of thing. So the
Can you
letters.
send me the link of both of those, and then I'll put them in the Freedom Team workplace for everybody just to have.
And also Sherry, if you, or Sunshine, if you don't mind, just that list that you had, is there a way to just even take a picture of that or
Yeah,
email it to us as well, just so we can post it in there?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have it on a
if you want to text all
That'd be
those
awesome.
to me, Sunshine, I'll get them all put in Freedom Team.
Okay, no
that'd
problem.
be perfect.
Whatever's easier for you.
Thank you, everybody.
Again. Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.